Hi guys, LianneJennifer here. It has been a while. A very long while. And I think that's an understatement. But yeah, I'm here. I don't know how many times I'm gonna do a video, maybe once a year. It depends on how I feel. I'm still sick. I will always be sick. It's something that I will have to learn to live with. And it's going fine. But sometimes things just cost me so much energy and I don't have time for other things. But today I felt good and I wanted to do this. So last time we were doing James's route and I will finish James's route. I probably do it in one video because that's what I want to do. So this is going to be a long video, but I want to do Matthew's route to start with because yeah, I want to spice it up, do something different. So yeah. Ooh, I'm excited. Let's do this. Hope you like it. Ooh, let's go. A new game. Oh yeah. This is a fictional interactive narrative. Any character's resemblance to real life people are purely coincidental. Good start on the English. Yeah. Also, please note that the following game is made for PG-16 audiences. Please note that sexual, violent themes are explored in this game. Trigger warnings, abuse, implied rape, and suicide. You have been warned. Jesus Christ, man. Alright, let's do this. Please enjoy.
Why, hello. My, aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
Well, cause why not? So I'm gonna keep it Jennifer. It's my second name. And it makes it less personal, but kind of personal. And Lianne, or Lianne, how my name is, it's a Dutch name. So let's keep it at Jennifer for the easy ones.
A lovely name for a lovely person like you. Wonderful.
Yes.
Erik, do your job.
Yeah, Erik, do your job, man.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim Entertainment under the direction of Michaela Laws and is powered by Ren'Py Visual Novel Engine. We truly hope you'll enjoy this story. I know I'll enjoy it since you'll be in it.
Oh, I don't like him already. Alright. Let's go.
Erik.
Fine. Farewell, my sweet.
Yes. Somewhere. And I have something to drink next to me because it's gonna be a lot of talking to do the whole episode. I hope I'm gonna make it because one thing I'm very proud of, I have a doggy dog now. It's called Bichou. Hey Bichou! Look at me, Bichou. I love you. But if he has to go out, for some reason, he has been walked. But if he has to go, he has to go. So I have to stop the recording for that. Because he's important to me. He is. Okay, let's go. We're going to start. Ooh, I'm excited. Damn, that scared me. I've played this game so many times. And I always forget this. Damn.
Come on! Is that all you got?
Wanna try me, asshole?
No. Damn, that's loud.
Crap! Missed.
Let's retreat for now.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's go.
That's right. You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Call it fate, or call it coincidence. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important in the field of financial theory.
If you say so.
It is used to calculate the price of European-style options and is widely used by option marketers, though there are some discrepancies that are now corrected with the modern viewpoint.
Alright, not really listening. Rain. It's been a long time since we got rain around here, but it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. Personally, I loved the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell, like the soft tapping of fingers. It was so soothing, I think. Sorry. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass of the window was strangely calming. For this reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, though I did spend more time staring outside than I did pay attention in class. Well, what she was telling wasn't that interesting anyway, not for me, at least. I'm an education girl. I work in the education field, but that was not very interesting, sorry. The lecture in class were pretty boring. Mrs. Phillips' voice wasn't so... I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna even try. But I just wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was the period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really care much for economics. No. I did like it in school. I did like it. Yeah. And I was good at it. Sorry. Sure. I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and did my assignments as I had to. Always did that. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably have taken another course. I don't know, I chose economics. Yeah. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after this semester it would mean the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on, and as if there were no end to it. No end! The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them. But that was kind of it. Yeah, and it takes me back to that time, and it was so much fun to do. I really enjoyed school and friends. Yeah, we don't have senior year and things like that in Europe, but you have basic school, and then the next one, and then you go to study for a occupation, things you want to do. And the first school was hell. I got bullied a lot and it wasn't fun and I hated it. But the second school, I really had great friends and it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. And the third one was, in the beginning, was hell because the people I was in class with didn't like me. And it was so stupid because it was an education thing, but they still bullied me. Stupid people. But they apologized and it's all in the past, so yes. In short, I was done with high school. The start of second semester brought a note of finality to it. Wow. Read. I had already applied to many universities the semester prior, and I was expecting replies sometime in the next few months. It seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things would change. I stared at the faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in class.
Miss Anderson.
Miss Phillips' raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Yeah, that's so sad if a teacher wants your attention. I have a teacher. Come on. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she noticed that I was spacing out. I think so. Yes, ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I read about it in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson. It followed me wherever I went. Most people didn't really know me by my first name, but rather my surname. No doubt, since the surname was the trademark of an internationally famous and, I'm not even gonna try it, philanthropic, maybe, Anderson Family Toys, and because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around and proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder.
Kick ass, girl.
Oh yeah! From beside me I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obviously disapproval of Suzu's choice of words.
She means good job.
Okay.
Miss Capini,
Oi!
Oi!
care to tell me who the creators of this formula were?
Some guys named Black and Shoals.
Fisher Black and Myron Scholes.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Show off.
I was that in class. I knew it.
Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smirk. A smirk. She always pounded when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi had scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was a sheer stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity to stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around other classmates. Well, that's good. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on and rolled it open onto the 3 desks. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She slightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intensely at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Suzu straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke up.
How about a company name?
Huh? Did we really skip over that?
Wow.
Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the fact. We need a name for our projects.
At least we caught it this time. What do we name it?
We caught it this time. Wow.
Not sure. What do you think?
It always came down to me. Whenever there was something to be named or titled, I was the master and ending decisions master. Well, even when I didn't want to be.
I like Trinity Corporations.
Oh, that's cute.
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
I love dragons.
What do dragons have to do with our project?
What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
Hot?
But our company sells bubble gum.
Dragon bubble gum!
Who said we can't produce spicy bubble gum?
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Both of them looked at me. Whatever. Even though I wasn't quite sure myself, I didn't really want to choose sides, but if it were up to me, I would say... Yeah, I like them both for their own reasons. But if I would really start a company, I like the Dragon Company. I think people would say, what is that, you know? Bubblegum? Bubblegum? 3D Corporation is also good. No, I'm going for the Dragon Company. Because why not? In real life, I think I would go for Trinity. Because I wouldn't dare to go that. But it's awesome though.
Booyah! Dragon Company it is!
Booyah!
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. I don't like this person already. Huh? Who was that?
Ignore it. It's just Lisette.
Lisette. I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with her circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in the school. Oh my god. And as a result, everyone in the school knew them. In the center of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicates she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was rapidly imparted when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was the student that everyone else wanted to be. Well, does not sound like someone I wanted to be, but okay. Lisette was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school. As a result, she was confident and ambiguous, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, but it had the ultimate resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
Good friends. Nice friends. Aww.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
I don't know. I don't like her already. My dog is chasing flies. I have my personal fly catcher. I'm going to get a vest because I don't know if you can still hear me, but it's cold. And I want it. Moment. Just a moment. Wait. Yes. You go on with your story.
The day she isn't a priss is the day I turn into you.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time. Let's bail.
Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease, and she quickly strolled out the door.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
That's an achievement. Me and you both. I wasn't fast. I was taking my time. I mean, class over, man. Class over! Me and you both, Naomi. She gave me a smile, as I relieved by the fact that I felt the same as she did. God.
See? Why can't she just be normal like the two of us?
Why? Why? It's Suzu, Naomi. Think about it.
Very true.
God.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
Yeah, sorry.
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
I do have to admit I was spacing out. And just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
You don't know when the important parts are gonna be, man, so that's tough.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Despite this, okay, they both burst out in laughter. Normally, anyone would think that the opposite like them wouldn't even associate with each other, but even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Well, you mean you don't have to agree on everything to be friends? I mean, I have a very good friend, my best friend. even, best girlfriend, that we don't have a lot of the same interests and we don't have a lot of the same views on life, but she is my best friend and she's always there for me. So, Steph, love you. Maybe they were just perfect compliments, or personality just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Yes.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Well, not me. I don't like spicy. I cannot take it. I die.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
You do like spicy food after all. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with aromas of different kind of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely. Oh my god, I need to eat soon. Maybe I'll eat during this. I'm sorry if I do. But else I'm gonna fall over from hunger. Totally forgot that.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I love chicken burger, but not spicy though.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I love a sandwich. Tuna sandwich. And some juice too.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy!
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
Hell yeah.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
Wow. Then you cannot handle very much, girl. I think I go with what Naomi's having. Just mac and cheese and a soda. Cayenne fries and spicy chicken burger too. No, I'm going with Naomi. Tuna sandwich. That's good. I'm getting hungry. Oh my god, I'm gonna eat soon. Yes. I'm just gonna take a snack or something. A tuna sandwich sounds pretty good right now anyway. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Food! Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
Alright then. Is there anything we want to talk about?
Life?
Bored already?
Apparently so.
I know. Let's talk about...
Say boys and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
Are you sure? Are you sure?
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
I'm sorry, but you both look amazing. And I'm tiny too, so... Fuck you.
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
I could be, but I'm not.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend just yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Maybe, but I'm playing Seduce Me, so... Yeah. Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Well, you're hard to please. I mean, you're at a school, man. Is there not one person you think like, yeah, that could be interesting? Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria. Echo, echo.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
What did I do? Oh no!
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
You totally got me.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
Yeah, I think it is.
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Will do. Funny enough, something did happen. Is that funny? I don't know. And it was certainly no laughing matter. How is that funny enough then? Right? Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone eulogies that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while, all I heard was sound of raindrops and umbrellas. If I weren't raining, wow, Jesus Christ. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me, where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for a small family of three. Small family of three. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. Hey, everybody grieves in a different way. You don't have to cry to grieve, you know. After all, etched into the smooth grey tombstone before us was his father's name. No. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. This day? And you're burying him the same day? It takes a couple of days, right? Right? Only close family were allowed to come. They wrote. I'm not doing so well, man. Okay. Come on. Get in the zone. Slowly, though, people began to leave, leaving my father, mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella at the funeral attendees walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read aloud in its contents.
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
What? I'm getting his estate? You mean like a... What? I'm going to eat something because I'm not gonna live else. What? Oh god, I cannot eat with this game. I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18. That was impossible. And yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. But, you know, maintaining an estate costs a lot of money. So I don't know if you're if you're happy about it though.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Well, you're a nice man already.
Dear.
Sorry for the sound, but I need it.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. Oh, what a stubborn old man.
Well, don't seem that nice yourself. Maybe he's just angry, you know? I mean, when people die, you can be sad, but you can also be angry because things in your life didn't go the way you want. Or, you know, things like that. Shaking his head. My father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
You're kicking me out of my home? Yeah, you should look at me, Pichu. This is serious. I love you. My dog. I love you. Good boy.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
I think your people are insane. I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
What a nice man you are. I mean, this is her grandfather's funeral and her dad is acting like this. I mean, you can be mad at someone, but damn.
David!
Very good, Mrs. Anderson. Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on ahead. To the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds, which was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of the arrangements, all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they passed? Here it is! I found it so weird already. Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. Man! I mean, even just to respect someone who died? Come on, man. And don't let someone who hates that person arrange the funeral. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Yeah, it is. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You stole... Sorry. You told me to stay strong. But right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time. A long time ago. Woo! Flashback. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I'm eating, Grandpa. I'm sorry. I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather. The way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Oh. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Ugh. This is so... You know? And now he's gone, and... I mean, yeah, you can be angry at your family. And there are things that are unforgivable, of course. But this is your dad. Yeah. So, what are we doing today, Grandpa? Mommy says that there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Of course. Yes. Oh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile. and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'd be like it's alive, and it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
What a nice man. Well, you don't know what's behind the scenes, you know, and you don't know how your dad grew up with him. So. Well, I hope I could be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it in the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that. Oh my god, that a child has to say that? It makes me so mad right now.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look at me eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I'm getting emotional, man. I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure about that? Not what the sentence says, sorry.
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong, promise?
For a moment, he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and it was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then, enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You willed me. The very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad. Especially when the person in question was no longer here. I'm sorry. It's hard to stay calm when you left me with so many questions. Especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? talking to a grave. My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up, and tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you flowers. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. I try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the graves, wiping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see. Oh my god, you came from your grandfather's funeral and now you have to hastily get those tears off? That's not a good sign.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Thanks, Mom. However, my dad didn't speak the entire drive home. I wanted to talk to him, but after his moment at the funeral, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea. I don't think so.
It's about time we took off those dreary black clothes.
Gathering my courage, I decided then that it was time to talk. Well, I don't think so, girlie. I don't think so, but okay. Dad, could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
Why do you want me to move into the estate so soon?
I thought I made that rather clear. The college near your grandfather's house is well known for its business program. You are planning to major in business, yes?
Well, how can I say no to that question?
Right after you graduate from high school, you'll just live there and can easily commute to and from school. It's a perfect fit for you.
But it's so sudden. You just decided so quickly right after the funeral.
Don't be so sensitive. If you're like that in the real world, you'll be crushed.
I have to control my anger, man. This man is getting me mad. Right. I'm just saying that maybe we could talk a bit more about my future.
After you graduate from college, you'll work at Anderson Family Toys. I have connections since I am part of the board of directors, so you will be guaranteed a spot. That is what we talked about before, yes?
But what if...
Stop mumbling!
Okay, I stop mumbling. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna scream at you. But what if I don't want to work there?
Don't be silly. It's the family company. Our company. I'm not just going to hand it over to some incompetent vice chairman. Look, this is all for the best, okay? You may not know it right now, but you will appreciate it later.
Don't think so, man. Don't think so. For some reason, when I heard him say that, something snapped in me. I wasn't exactly sure what it was, but it made me feel so angry. That sentence make you so angry? Okay, the rest made me more angry before, but... Do you even care that grandfather passed away?
Of course I do.
Well, everything seems fine and dandy to you. Things couldn't be better.
Excuse me? I don't like your tone, young lady.
It's like nothing ever happened at... It's like nothing even happened at all. Like you just ignored the fact that he's no longer here.
Do not raise your voice at me.
What did he ever do to you to deserve this? My father, his face hardened, crossed his arms. His arms were already crossed, but... and erupted in angry laughter. That's scary.
Ha! You sure place him upon a pedestal. Like he's some kind of venerated god or something. It makes me sick.
Is that it? Are you happy seeing grandfather dead? While everyone was grieving, were you holding yourself back from laughing in everyone's faces? Did you feel just a bit happier seeing him lying in the graveyard? Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. A flash of rage crossed his face, and he whipped the back of his hand across my cheek.
You don't know anything! Running your mouth like somehow you know everything that went on, when you're just a little girl that doesn't know how to keep her mouth shut! You did not know my father. You did not know what he was capable of.
Is everything all right? What happened?
I'm sorry. I know it's so serious, but look at the face of the mom. Oh my god. Nothing. I'm not hungry. I think I just go upstairs.
Honey, wait!
I quickly turned and ran up the stairs to my room, slamming the door behind me. My breath came in short pants, and for a while it just leaned against the door to my bedroom, eventually sliding down to sit against it. How did things become like this? My cheek still throbbed, and I tentatively stood up and looked at the mirror to see how it looked. Hopefully it doesn't bruise. What am I saying? Tears formed in the corner of my eyes, but I blinked them back rapidly. I couldn't cry for a second time today. I had to be stronger than that. Well, it's dad like that.
Are you alright? Your father told me nothing happened, but you know your father.
Yeah, he's a dick. I'm fine. I just lost my appetite.
The lasagna's done, though. And I don't want you skipping any meals. Are you sure?
Yeah, don't worry about me, Mom. I'll come downstairs later to eat.
You're not telling me the whole story.
Well, your man should do that. Your husband. Your monster. I just don't want to eat right now.
Please, dear. Tell me what's going on. I wish you would tell me why you're being like this.
I wanted to tell her. A part of me was screaming to tell her what Dad had done. At the same time, I knew she couldn't fix anything. Besides, I was moving out regardless. So you don't tell her that your dad hit you? Come on, man. I remained silent, letting the event remain in the past.
Well, I'll leave your food on the table if you want to eat it later.
Finally, my mom left me alone. It was strange to think that she was only a few inches away from me, only separated by a single wooden door. I really didn't know what to do. I needed to do something, anything, to get my mind off what just happened. Anything would be better than thinking any more about the pain still radiating from my cheek. I was going to move into my grandfather's house tomorrow. I should probably pack my stuff so I would be prepared for tomorrow. Yeah, that was a good idea. I should start packing. I opened the closet, rummaging around for a while before I finally found 2 large bags. Pulling them out onto the floor of my room, I then began to empty my drawers and cabinets so that I could bring all my things with me. I didn't have much to bring, other than just clothes and some toiletries. It was kind of bizarre that I didn't have many personal belongings. Yeah, I have a lot of them. I have how do you say that? A ton of them? Load of them. I'm sorry, I don't know, but I have a lot of personal items. It wasn't like my luggage was completely devoid of them, but I certainly didn't have many things in my room that I would miss if I just suddenly left the house. I shook my head to rip myself of those thoughts. If it were going to be my new home, it would have to feel like it. One way or another, I was going to make it a home. Just as I was packing my things, my cell phone began ringing and vibrating in my pocket. I slipped my phone out of my pocket and answered it while slowly easing myself onto my bed. Who could possibly be calling?
Hey Anderson, you there? Is everything alright? We were worried about you, so we decided to call.
Aw, good friends.
Hello?
I'm really glad you guys called. My voice managed to come out, though it was only a whisper.
What happened? Are you okay?
Well, I slowly began to tell them about the funeral that afternoon. A small silence followed. A small silence followed when I was done recounting what happened, and to my relief, Naomi finally spoke up.
I can't begin to imagine how you must be feeling right now. I'm so sorry. Do you want us to come over right now?
No, it's okay. My dad isn't in a good mood, so... Could we just keep talking on the phone like this?
Of course! We'd stay on the phone until the crack of dawn, right, Suzu? Yeah. We're always here if you need us. After all, we wouldn't be the awesome triple threat trio without you, right?
Yeah.
Triple threat trio? That sounds like the name of a gang.
Our gang.
Yeah, I mean, we're all taking on the world together. We've got to sound somewhat scary, or else no one's going to take us seriously. What's with you and naming things? You've got to step up your game, Naomi. Falling behind to the cool kids like Anderson and me. Hey! I'm a cool kid! If anything, I'd say you'd have to step up your game!
We chatted cheerfully about all sort of things. Very soon I had forgotten about the events that day and was engaged in conversation about Naomi's favorite TV show. Some program called Herlock. I love Herlock. Sherlock. Give it to me. We all agreed that the actor playing the character certainly had a very distinctive look about him, with the long overcoat and a scarf wrapped around his neck. Yes, it's Sherlock. We had many disagreements about who we thought was the coolest character. Yeah, he has really high cheekbones and his eyes are pretty. Though I do have to say I prefer Jetson. Watson. And as a bonus, his actor is just so sassy. I looked at the clock hanging on the wall and I realized how late it was. Whoa, it's already 1 a.m. Sorry for keeping you guys up so late. I think I'm gonna hit the hay for tonight. See you guys tomorrow at school. I should probably shower at 1 o'clock Okay. I should probably shower and go to bed. I can't believe I stayed up this late just to talk to my friends. Well, after the day you had, girl. But it was really nice. Well, to the bedroom I go! I took a relaxing shower. Nothing beat hot water and the feeling of being clean. After drying myself, I promptly dressed in my pajamas and crawled into bed. Ah, a nice hot shower after a long day. I'm so glad to finally be in bed. It had been a really long day. I knew that I was wishing for something to change back in class, but I certainly wasn't expecting any of the things that happened today. Well, careful what you wish for, right? And I have to go back to school tomorrow. What? After my grandfather died, I was I think home a couple of days because I was so sad and hurt and I couldn't function. I curled up on my side and tightly wrapped the blankets around me. I really wasn't in the mood to be returning to school, but my dad probably would make me go just for the sake of it. This man, right? This man, oh my god. It's time to go to sleep. I reached out to the lamp on my nightstand to turn off the lights. However, my mind was so lost in the passing of my grandfather and the thought of inheriting something so big that it haunted my mind the entire night until the next morning. No! No! Ugh. I shook my head to try to clear the sleepiness out of me to no avail. I really didn't get any sleep last night. Oh my god, and you're still going to school? Man, I would stay in bed like all day. It's already time to wake up. Wait, school. As soon as I realized I had to go to school, I slipped out of bed and looked at the vanity mirror. That's a relief. Luckily, there was barely a bruise on my cheek. You had to squint to actually see it. I doubted anyone would actually notice it unless they leaned in really close. Breathing out a sigh, I got dressed. took my backpack and caught the bus to go to school. It wasn't even hours before everyone heard of the news. I was approached in school and given condolences for my loss. However, that wasn't what shocked my friends.
Wait, so you have the whole Anderson house to yourself? Lucky as hell, man! Quit being so sensitive, Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi, come on, man. It's a 16+ game.
Quit being so vulgar, Suzu.
Don't. Oh, yes, I'm sorry, Suzu's right. I mean, as a teacher, I always look out for what I say, but I teach in, preschool then, I think. It's like they're from 4 to 12-year-olds. And the people I work with, of the children I work with, are like 6, 7, 8, maybe 9. So, yeah, then I watch out what I say, and I think you should really set a good example. But in this, doing a YouTube video or just being me, I think it is what situation I am. With friends I can be, but with my parents I might be a little bit more appropriate, But come on. Suzu's right, Naomi. No? Yeah.
Of course you would side with her.
Of course.
Ha! See? At least she knows how to have fun.
Well, I don't know if it's fun, but...
I know how to have fun. You don't need to be wild to have fun.
True. Guys, I'm going there after school today because my parents want me to get used to living there.
Seriously? It hasn't even been a day since you came back to school.
I know. But my parents want me to try living there as soon as possible.
Still, that's really fast. Are you going to be okay?
Of course. But even in the comfort of my best friends, life seemed to keep testing me. Ow! What's that?
Hey! Don't go around shoving people like that.
Oh my god, is it Lisette? I'm going to murder her?
Whoops. Did I strike a nerve, Capini?
Did you almost hit the fly, Bichou? Good boy. She let out a small laugh as she twirled her hair around her finger. Lisette was one of the last people I wanted to see today.
It's not me you should be apologizing to.
Oh, Anderson. Hey, how's it going?
Well, a lot worse since you showed up. I'm alright.
Haven't you already heard, Lisette?
Of what?
Her grandfather's passing.
Well, I'm sorry about that. I don't really watch a lot of news.
It doesn't really sound like you mean it.
I do mean it. Earnestly. Why wouldn't I?
Typical Capini. Isn't her family involved with the mafia or something? I wouldn't be surprised if she brought out a bat from behind her back right this moment.
Excuse me. You want to be slapped by my bat? How did you dare say something like that? I had nearly forgotten the crowd that followed Lisette. Ugh. What was mostly comprised of people that no one wanted to see on a typical school day. Nice friends, Lisette. No one had the slightest idea why exactly they followed Lisette around persistently, but they labeled themselves as social equals with her.
That is out of line. Suzu comes from an honest family.
Says the one whose family profits from political scandals.
Yeah, your dad doesn't make anything unless he's in the court with dirty politicians.
Hey, let's all calm down for a second, all right? I'm sure Anderson needs some time to recuperate. I mean, what just happened? We need to give her some respect.
This behavior scares me more than just outright nasty behavior. Because does she mean this? Does she just pity pities me. I, with people that are nasty, I don't believe that, and it hurts more if they're like this. Just stop. Stop acting like that already. Like you feel sorry for me.
What are you talking about?
I'm sure you're happy seeing me like this. You already have everything you wanted. And now seeing me like this? Life couldn't get any better. Bitterness steeped into me, and words started flying out of my mouth without filter. But honestly, I didn't care. I was so consumed by anger that I only saw Lisette in front of me. What exactly am I to you? Just another part of your obstacle course? Is that what I am? I'm sick of it, Lisette. Sorry, see the face of Lisette. Oh my god. Where's my dog? Oh, he's outside. Okay. I'm sick of it, Lisette. I'm sick of all these charades. I'm sick of you. Gasp rose from the crowd around her, and I was brought back to the school hallway. Even my friends beside me looked at me in surprise. One girl looked like she was going to speak up, but Lisette held her hand up to stop her. There was an emotion in her face that I couldn't quite make out, but I could see a form of pity in her eyes. Oh, but dear. No! Don't you dare pity me! I looked away from her. I didn't want to see that emotion in her eyes when she was talking to me. She didn't have the right to look at me that way.
I'm sorry. I know your grandfather passing away must have really taken a toll on your emotions.
Stay calm, Jennifer. She stepped towards me and put her hand on my shoulder. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I'm serious, man. If someone I don't like touches me, giving me a tiny smile, as if it was for old sake time. But for some reason, I didn't feel comfort at all. No, of course not. Not that I was just angry at her, but her expression on her face when she leaned in close to me, consorting into something complex. Something was different about her. I couldn't quite place my finger on it, but something about her had definitely changed.
Well, I'll be going for now. Track meet responsibilities and all of that stuff. See you later.
I hope not. Something about Lisette made me feel uncomfortable. I wasn't just angry, but also uneasy. What was it? I'd never seen her like that before. But I decided to pay no further attention to it. She continued running down the hallway with her giggle of friends behind her. I refocused my attention to Mrs. Phillips, who was walking down the hall towards me.
Is everything all right, girls?
Nothing we couldn't handle, Mrs. P. Just a bunch of snobs.
Bunch of snobs!
Suzu, hush! It was nothing, Mrs. Phillips.
I see. Well, Miss Anderson, please accept my condolences for your loss.
Thank you, Mrs. Phillips.
Your grandfather was a good man. He really upheld the philanthropy of his company's policies, and the money that went towards charity, too.
I know. He was amazing. I really looked up to him, and I want to be as good as he was.
Well, I know that you'll be as great as your grandfather.
Hell yeah, she will. She'll be 10 times better than her grandfather.
Would I? Would I really be better than my grandfather? Everyone seemed to have high expectations of me. High expectations. I wanted to do my best and make my family proud. But to be better than my grandfather? I wasn't sure about that. Well, you don't have to be. You know, just do your best. And that's enough. From outside the school window, I saw a familiar blue car pull up to the curb. Undoubtedly, it was my father in the driver's seat. Oh, my ride's here. Well, guess I see you guys both tomorrow.
Want us to come with you?
Oh no, it's okay. I'll be fine. See ya. Well, rather have you guys there with my father who's hitting me. Hey, Dad.
Hey, honey.
As I got into the car, I noticed my father looked troubled. clenching as his steering wheel and staring straight ahead, as if something was really bothering. I hope so, after hitting his daughter.
About what happened yesterday. I'm sorry for yelling at you. Does your cheek still hurt?
You're sorry for yelling at me? How about you're sorry about hitting me? No, it's nothing to worry about. This girl is also getting me quite upset. I mean, just say it. How the fuck dare you do that?
I mean it. I shouldn't have laid a finger on you. You know that you're my most precious daughter. You're all that I have.
Yeah, your only daughter. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not so on the forgiveness part. You know, small things, fine, you know, but this. Yet he couldn't bring himself to say what he could never say to me for such a long time. I've always wanted to hear those words to affirm how he really felt, but I guess, even now, he couldn't say it to me. I turned my head away to look out the window. There was no point in waiting for someone that was never going to come. And, like that, he started to drive and the conversation between us ended. I decided to focus my attention on the passing scenery. We were taking the usual route to my grandfather's house. It was located within the vicinity of the school district, but it was still pretty far from the school and from where our house was. He had always lived alone. He insisted on doing things by himself, even at his age living in such a large house. I wondered, did he pass away with no one at his side as well? It sounded lonely and sad. It was strange that he had decided on living all alone in this large estate. No mention. If anything, he could have lived with us. Though he and my father probably would have given each other the silent treatment the entire time. Maybe living alone was preferable to that. I actually hadn't visited him for quite a while. Visits to his house were most frequent when I was a child, not a kid. And I had grown up long since then. The last time I visited, though, I thought he looked just as he usually was, happy and healthy. But things change. In the back of my mind, I knew that he would have to leave one day. It wasn't like humans could live forever. I want to live forever. Nee, who wants to live forever is the song. So, why did my heart still feel so heavy? Because you're grieving. You know, even if someone dies of old age and they had a beautiful life, you can still be sad. You can still feel heavy. I mean, you miss that person. The car ride was mostly spent in silence, until he spoke up again.
How was school? Maintaining your grades, I hope.
Yeah. I've been trying my best as of so far.
Trying? That's not really doing the best you can, is
it? With my father, only some words I said were filtered through his ears. It was difficult to keep up a conversation without eventually talking about academics or my future, even if it was something loosely based on it. He always found a way to integrate it whenever we talked.
Anyway, your belongings are in the trunk. There isn't a lot, so I'm sure you can manage bringing them inside the house. After all, you are on the road to being independent now.
Yes, I can manage on my own. Everything better than with this guy. The unusual silence resumed between us. I really wasn't sure what to say around him, especially when most of the time we didn't share the same opinions. One question did linger in my mind, though. If he was going to justify acting so nonchalant at grandfather's funeral, I had the right to at least know why. Am I gonna ask it yes or no? I don't really want to. I mean, he can slap her again. I mean, this man is not gonna answer anything, right? Okay, I'm gonna try it. I might regret it. Biggest mistake of my life. Say, Dad, about you and Grandpa?
We are not talking about this.
Haha! Should have known. I feel like we should be. Because Grandpa did leave us yesterday, so...
I wouldn't care if he had left even long before that. I do not want to hear it, and that is the end of this conversation.
As always, he managed to shut down any other forms of conversation related to him. It was just like what happened last night. Well, it wasn't like it last night. Let's not forget that. I opened my mouth slightly, but closed it again. It was like talking to a brick wall. It wasn't like I could find out anything by somehow arguing my way through it. Alright then. I leaned against the car door and stared out the window. I really couldn't think. What would this place be like? I had been to my grandfather's house before, but it was one thing visiting, and it was another thing actually living there. How would I manage living on my own without any training to really care for a house? I knew that naturally the bills would be paid by my parents. Oh! That's good. Who inherit grandfather's stocks to the corporation, not corporation. But I had never lived independently before. What a stupid man this is. Oh my god. If this was my dad, I would cry myself to sleep, man. I'm so happy with the dad I got. Phew. Thinking about it made me feel like some kind of bird being pushed out of the nest. Yeah. Though I was technically an adult, I felt unprepared and a bit daunted at the prospect of actually moving into a new place. Well, I moved to my own place when I was a little bit older, also because of the sickness, of course, but also because my parents were like, when you're ready, you're ready. And, just take your time and go when you want to. And, yeah, I'm just so happy with my parents if I play this story, man. Most people my age would be ecstatic moving out. I don't know. I mean, maybe it seems like how your relationship is with your parents. If that was my dad, then yeah, definitely. But with the parents I got, I of course I was happy to move out eventually, but and I'm happy living on my own for now, but it was fun, it was good, so. But I felt like it was nothing of the sort. I really hoped, I passed over that sentence, I'm sorry. I really hoped I wouldn't let my parents down. I wouldn't want to let my grandfather down. What would he be saying right now? Like, your dad is a tool. I gazed up at the passing clouds in the sky. If you're out there, grandfather, how would you be doing? Would there be anything you want to tell me at this moment? And, of course, no answer. What was I doing? Searching for an answer in heaven that would or would not exist. Well, I think you have more chance doing that than talking to your father. I ducked my head to stare at the blur of trees and cars from the car window. My head was definitely going into the clouds there at that moment. Either way, I found myself being driven off to my new home. Alright, I said I was going to do it in one video, but it's a very long game. I didn't think it was so long, but I played it a while ago. Well, it's good because it's an awesome game and it has a lot of content. But what I'm going to do, because I want to do every path, I'm going to stop the video here. And this is going to be the intro. So this is going to be the first part. And after that, it will divide into Matthew and James and Erik and Sam and Damian. So the boys. There are other options in this game as romance than the boys. But that has to do with your choices that I make now. And a little later on, I think. But, so I will do those things differently. But for now, this is gonna be the intro. Sorry for me eating, but I felt so weak, so I had to eat something. I hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed being back, and I really feel comfortable doing it again. It's so much fun. So I'm gonna keep recording today so that I can at least finish Matthew's Path, so that I have a done series on my channel. But you will see that later. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you next time with Seduce Me.